we're going to kick it off here with Karine Jean-Pierre coming out and spilling the beans on the narrative that the Biden administration, the Democrats, in conjunction with the media, are going to push here ahead of the midterm elections. Before, we were called MAGA Republicans, and then we turned into Ultra MAGA in conjunction with a threat to democracy. And now we're Mega MAGA Republicans that are not only a threat to democracy, but also a threat to the integrity of our democratic elections. I mean, she gives a litany of things here, folks. I promise you, I'm going to try not to pause it, but it's really hard because she says a litany of nonsense. Without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Okay, as you all know, the president has long talked about our nation being at an inflection point. He has been clear democracy is under assault and we cannot pretend otherwise. The president will continue to call attention to the threat to democratic integrity and to public safety posed by those who deny the documented truth about election results and those who seek to undermine public faith in our system of government. Unfortunately, we have seen Mega MAGA Republican officials who don't believe in the rule of law. They refuse to accept the results of free and fair elections, and they fan the flames of political violence through what they praise and what they refuse to condemn. It remains important for the president to state strongly and unequivocally that violence has no place in our democracy. He believes other leaders of both parties, on both sides, have a responsibility to communicate this very clearly as well. The president has been emphatic and optimistic that Americans care about protecting our democracy. He has consistently talked about the fact that America has emerged stronger from some of our darkest moments. And today, there are far more Americans of every background and every belief who reject the dangerous path of political violence than accept it. The president will continue to speak about the challenges facing our democracy and his enduring belief that America will persevere. He'll also keep acting to address political violence, including by continued implementation of the first ever national strategy for countering domestic terrorism that he released in June of 2021. Now, President Biden has made it his top economic priority to lower costs for American families, and he has been delivering.
He's going to lower costs for American families, and he has been delivering, which I'm sure she's going to go into a litany of things, which we will listen here in just one moment. But it's amazing how she's going to start off and basically say MAGA Republicans or Mega MAGA Republicans are, in a nutshell, a threat to democracy. They undermine the integrity of our elections. They basically say the election was a fraud. Look, Joe Biden won, but that doesn't mean that there wasn't problems in the election, which a lot of Republicans call out. A lot of Americans think, hey, there was some fishy stuff that took place that we should probably look into. Hell, dead people voted for the Democrats. I'm sure there were some dead people that voted for Republicans. I don't like that. We should look into that. There was people voting from places that literally don't exist. They had a registered address on the register that literally does not exist. And somehow they voted from that place, or they were at least, that's where they were living, or that's where tax documents were being sent. However they did it, it just doesn't exist. Steven Crowder did a phenomenal job of investigating that. Hell, you can do that on your own and see that that integrity was basically a bunch of nonsense. So virtually, if you just question the election, which is okay to do, you're a threat to democracy now, which is so rich because, hell, Hillary Clinton just said that the other day that the Republicans are already ahead of the midterms, just trying to basically do a bunch of nonsense with the election. She's touting the same thing. She's also talking about political violence when you just had Black Lives Matter and Antifa for like 6 years, burn down our cities left and right, caused $2 billion in damages. But for some reason, she's just going to hyper focus on these Mega MAGA Republicans because of January 6th. She's, I'm sure, somehow throughout this thing, and she actually does, connect it to Paul Pelosi being attacked and how, you know, people won't condemn it and all these things, even though the whole story hasn't come out. So what the hell are you going to condemn when you don't even have the full evidence of the full story of why the guy did what he did, because he's psycho. But I can go on forever about this. I want her to continue here on just boasting about Joe Biden's handling of the economy, even though inflation's up 8.2%. You got CPI going up. When you go take out or finance for a vehicle or you take out a loan or something, now you're going to have increased interest because the Federal Reserve just increased interest rates once again. You got mortgages going through the roof. So no, they're completely doing a fabulous job, you guys. Make sure you vote blue this coming midterms because they have everything under control. There's not a dumpster fire happening around us whatsoever. But let's hear her boast about this and a bunch of nonsense. Let's continue.
He's beaten Big Pharma, and Medicare is negotiating lower prescription drug prices as well. Gas prices have come down by $1.25 per gallon since June, and Medicare premiums are down as well.
You guys, you're getting cleaned out at the gas pump, and she's going to talk about, well, it came down to $1.25 while you're still paying through the roof. We're about to have a diesel shortage here in the coming days. In a matter of like 2 weeks. The Biden administration knew nothing about it. John Kirby was asked by Jackie Henrick of Fox News about the diesel shortage. He's like, I just don't have the numbers on it. Don't have a clue. which is going to cause everything to go up. Your consumer goods are going to go up because all the freight's done. Your food are going to go up even further because the farming equipment utilizes diesel. Your energy costs for your homes are going to go up because the East Coast uses diesel virtually to, heat their homes. What a bunch of nonsense.
Yesterday was our first day of open enrollment season, thanks to the Inflation Reduction Act, which congressional Republicans want to repeal. That's the first thing that they want to do. 4 out of 5 consumers can find a plan that costs $10 or less a month. Additionally, 13 million Americans will continue to save an average of $800 a year on coverage. And today we're announcing additional actions to lower food and heating costs for American families. The Vice President will be in Boston this evening to announce that we're making billions of dollars available this winter to help bring down home heating bills for low-income families all across the country. We're also making nearly $9 billion through the Inflation Reduction Act available to states and tribes to help families make their homes more energy efficient. And the Department of Agriculture.
That's just perfect. Inflation's up. Hey, make sure you guys get those solar panels. Make sure you guys get those nice windows that help with energy and make it more efficient. We'll sit there and subsidize it. You get a rebate. We'll make $9 billion affordable, or at least enable you to at least have some sort of that rebate through that $9 billion or whatever it is. No, that's a great message. While people are struggling putting freaking food on the table, they can't even save money towards retirement. They're living paycheck to paycheck more than ever. But no, hey, make sure you have those same people that are struggling paying their bills. Make sure they spend even more money. They finance with higher interest rates on these solar panels, making their house more efficient, energy efficient. No, great message, Karine. Just great job.
Agriculture is helping bring down food prices at the grocery store through new measures to expand meat and poultry processing capacity. Altogether, these actions and others will provide families a little extra breathing room. You hear the president say that often. And they are in stark contrast to the plans Republicans in Congress have cooked up to drive up costs. Congressional Republicans want to repeal the Inflation Reduction Act, which gives us the ability to lower drug prices, and that utility CEOs have said will bring monthly energy bills down. They oppose the release of oil from reserves, which multiple industry analysts have said is helping bring prices down at the pump. They're going to bat for big oil, even as they pad the pockets of shareholders and keep gas prices up for American families. They want to raise the age of Social Security benefits and put the program that so many people work so hard for, alongside Medicare, on the chopping block. And they want to restore disastrous tax cuts for the rich. The bottom line is the president is committed to helping families right now, while Republicans officials are committed to raising costs and chilling for Big Pharma and Big Oil. Lastly, this afternoon, in a few minutes, the president will take part in the culminating event for the Talent Pipeline Challenge, which brings together more than 300 partners to expand workforce development for jobs created by bipartisan infrastructure law, along with the CHIPS and Science Act, Inflation Reduction Act, and the American Rescue Plan. The event comes amid a resurgence of American infrastructure projects and manufacturing.
Oh, I'm sure it does, Karine. I'm sure it does. And he's just doing everything, folks. A lot of it was lies. Some of it was truth. We want to increase domestic oil production. Hell, I'll pad the pockets of the oil companies. Help them sit there and increase domestic oil production. Remove some of the red tape. Get those refineries going. I'm all for that. Hell, I want to pay less at the pump. I don't care if they're freaking taking a ton of profit. As long as I'm paying less at the pump, I'm cool with it. You increase supply, you help with the demand there, and hopefully we'll have things under control here. But whatever they're doing, it's just taking a shellacking to all Americans here. But they don't see it, you guys. That's the weird thing. oh, we're taking a real big hit on Big Pharma right now. We're really kicking their butt. Don't you guys see it? You can get hearing aids. Like, really? That's what we're going to go with? And they're going to tell you that they're going to lower the cost of energy. You're saving $1.25 at the pump. Whoop-de-doo. They're so out of touch. They're so out of touch. But that's the narrative. The main focus here is the narrative. Republicans are evil. Republicans are going to screw all you guys, even though the Democrats just got done screwing everybody for the last 2 years and continually screw everybody. Hell, look at the Obama administration, not to bring him back into the mix. But we're the evil ones. I hope you enjoyed that clip from the Bald Brad Show. If you did, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all our future content.